Hi, and thanks for watching TargetedWest.com conference call and work group. TargetedWest.com is a website. My name is DJ Chris. I'll be your moderator and host tonight. I'm here in beautiful Lodi, where it is Sunday, the 12th of December, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm in my RV. I claim to not be violent. I am not. I am not left or right. I am just a man in the middle who's trying to figure out why he's got telepathy that doesn't seem to go away after 21 years coming up. And I found other people have the same issue. Plus, I even wrote a book about it. So this Christmas, be sure to check out on Amazon, or you can Google it, The Targeted Trilogy Book by DJ Chris. So this is show number 37. That's 37 in our series. And tonight we'll be talking about Neuralink. And I took the uncomfortable position of watching the Neuralink presentation that they made in person. And Elon Musk is kind of mumbling and scary for someone who's going to invade my brain. And he had a lot of his experts on, and they're already on the 4th generation of the chip. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So anyway, this is our show, and welcome to the call. I see it's already building up. Got people coming in, and caller 00's here. Got the Laura's here, Joe, Liz, name, Gertrude, Glamour Girl, Cat, Tranquility, me, name, me. So Neuralink is the big talk of the town, and they did their presentation. They said that they may be able to have a human test subject in 6 months, but I doubt it because they're in a little trouble with the way they treated animals, and apparently many animals died, like 1,500, and they're getting complaints externally and internally about it. So everybody's going to want this technology. They're claiming it's for people that can't see or have lack of limb movement, and this will restore that ability. But you know damn well it's going to be a big parlor trick for people to be able to do this without any keyboards or anything. The funny part is, as I watched the video, I didn't know that the chip inside your skull, which is implanted in the hole they drill, and it sits right inside that hole, and the skin flap is put right back over it. And the electrodes, which are 64 of them, go to 64 different places in your brain. And a robot machine, of course, places those electrodes and wires throughout your brain automatically. And it says it's like LASIK. It only takes about an hour or so. And of course, there's a lot of controversy about the fact that some people are going to be enhanced and some won't. And my question tonight is, would you get enhanced for work or for your school, or for because you're a techie, or that you're just curious, or the first one on the block? So you would be in competition with the E. Joneses instead of the Joneses now. So it's the E. Joneses. So you really want this technology in your head? I mean, I wouldn't do it, because you know damn well that they can do this remotely without any wires. So why go through the parlor tricks of putting this hardware in your brain when you know well that they could do this through the telepathy and the dreams and such, and the V2K remotely, using our bioresonance of our body? And that's how they talk to me, and how they read my sub-vocalizations to hear what I'm thinking and saying, talking to myself. So, and then there's other methods, I'm sure. Someone told me there's over 60 ways to put voices in people's heads. So anyway, like I said, this is DJ Chris. It's a cold, rainy, 49-degree weather right now, and it rained for 2 days here. all the grapes have been picked and they're all fermenting. So you'll have some fine wines from Lodi to check out in a couple of years. And you'll have a Neuralink to be able to sit at the winery and connect to, well, you have to be connected to something, so you have to bring your device with you, which would sit at the table. Or they'll probably have it so it'll interconnect with your cell phone with an app. Your brain can't communicate up in the sky. It has to have the base station with it. So that's the other bad news. And the other bad news is it runs out of power. So you have to recharge it using the wireless charging where they use the magnets and the coil. You have this device that charges your brain chip and a wand that you have to put over it, and they've actually streamlined the charging time. And it also does diagnostics, which besides charging, and it has to charge at a certain frequency or changed. The frequency needs to be changed in order to keep the temperature of the implant to a certain degree, or it will fail. Plus, they have the problem of moisture getting into the implants, and they're working on that, and they've seemed to come up with a sound solution to be able to detect moisture. You would think you'd have moisture if you're in somebody's head. Of course you do. And then there's the longevity aspect, and how long is this product going to work? Is your brain going to reject it? I mean, what if you get brain cancer? Who do you sue? You're putting that into your brain, and when you know damn well this is wireless, probably do the same thing with a headset. I don't understand why we have to be wired in. That just doesn't make sense, but that's Elon Musk and his crazy thinking, which doesn't make sense to me when they could do it wirelessly. So that's Neuralink, and that'll be our main topic. You can talk about that during open mic. And I put the video presentation with Elon Musk and his workers at Neuralink on TI Club 3's Twitter page I operate. And the TI Book Club is on there, of course, which is # TI Book Club. So they say, maybe in 6 months they'll have a human try it. So my question is, would you do it? Would you pay to have that done? No, I wouldn't. Not since you and I know that it can be done without wiring someone's brain up. So they showed the monkey, and the monkey was filling in words and playing a game, and actually they give the monkey banana, like a little tiny taste of a droplet of banana smoothie, and the monkey learns to write things and to play Pong, basically. And they've actually gotten the technology to speed up, so it's actually almost realistic. And they're proud of that. They're applauding each other. You should hear this crowd at this event. They sound like a bunch of nuts, applauding so loud, like, oh, this is so great. Well, I'd like to see you get wired up for it first and see what happens. We'll find out. Okay, next topic is Dr. Giordano. I put an article on about I knew I couldn't say this, aerosolizing nanobots, or putting them in the air, and through aerosols. And that is an article on my TI Club 3 page, so check it out. I see Sheila's in the house. Hello, Sheila. I see Setsa's in the house. Hello, Setsa. Dr. G's in a lot of different videos and events and articles lately. He seems to be brought up quite a bit. Is he a friend or foe? What do you think? Seems to be for neural rights, but is there any legitimate neural rights yet? If there were laws, they wouldn't do it. Well, they'd probably still find a way to do it under the Patriot Act. And then in other countries, they have their ways of what's the word? Approving it, justifying it. Next subject is Majestic 12, MJ12. Is it fact or fiction? The FBI says it's fiction. It's not fact. But I found on Matrix Disclosure website on my TI Club 3 an actual article about it, and it's probably not fake. And of course, Vannevar Bush was one of them, and a couple other famous people that you've heard before in the war information. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be having Giordano as a dinner guest in the near future. If you look at his credentials, it's like he works for DARPA at the same time, and he's also an advisor. And then he's also a neural rights person. It's like, okay, talking about man in the middle. So the FBI says MJ12 is fake, and you go read the article and find out for yourself what you think about it. See what time it is. It's 10 minutes after. I'll see if the room's moving up. You miss your mom? Yeah, I bet that's really quite a shocker to lose your mom. I lost my mom when I was 24, and that was not good for my psyche, because my dad, the Freemason, took over, and boy, it was Punishment City after that. I don't know why he thought he had to punish everybody for everything when nothing was going on. This is the way he was: authoritative, cheap, financially abusive. So yeah, you're lucky you didn't have to go through a dad like that. And speaking of the MILAB, you're mentioning your father may have been involved in that. I'll be down the row here of subject matters we're talking about. If you're watching this video for educational purposes and you have questions, you're more than welcome to email me at djchris@targetedwest.com with questions or comments or suggestions. Of course, positive ones, please. So next topic is Laurel Canyon. And I posted a video about the history of music in Laurel Canyon and the fact that the Doors, Jim Morrison and Frank Zappa and Jackson Browne, all their parents were military intelligence officers. And a lot of people like Sal Mineo and others mysteriously died up there. And there was a weird connection to Mama Cass and Manson, and CIA's giving out that LSD to everybody. And of course, I probably made a violent version of it to see how people reacted on it. Probably put some rat poison in it. So I put how Laurel Canyon in the video discusses military intelligence family backgrounds, which is kind of scary, especially since a lot of music in Bluffalo, Springfield has a resurgence now. And they're all anti-war. So why would you have a CIA psyops about oh, I know, because they're trying to get you to be anti-war so they could make you an enemy. So they want to play a bunch of music about anti-war stuff. But if you go along with it and actually physically do something in regards to anti-war activity, that's where they get you. It's like with drugs and the rap music. It's always, a lot of references to drugs. And then they push drugs in the ghetto, like the CIA pushed crack in the black communities in the ghetto, people of color. And the white person gets a cocaine rap, and, it's powder cocaine. They only get a little tiny rap on the hand, and the other people go to prison for 20 years. That's just crazy. So the CIA is manipulating music, should make you anti-war. And then if you act upon it, you're labeled dissident and anti-war. And then you get followed around by a bunch of people. And then you get the telepathy. Never seen a country so hell-bent on being anti-war crimes a crime. Homophobia in the TI community is there. I heard about it, but I haven't experienced it. That's my next topic. In New York, hate crime against gay, lesbian, transgender is up 50%, and that's not good since July. And the drag queen thing is scary, that these Proud Boys are showing up to these events. And I used to work with drag queens. I used to do their cassette tapes and play them, and they're pretty harmless, especially since all their junk is taped up. They can't do much, but they're not really interested in much of anything except singing music and playing songs and dressing up and being on RuPaul's Drag Race if they're good enough. So, and having a group called Proud Boys makes me giggle because it reminds me of the group Wham and Bad Boys stick together, never sad boys, dot, 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 do, dot, dot, do, dot. So I get a kick out of that. It's just the way my brain works. So there's a lot of hatred and stuff going on. I haven't personally experienced it in the community, but I've had a couple of people bring it up, and it's like, more power to you if that's what you want. It's funny, the religious people, they say, are the ones that do that, and I don't have that experience myself, so I think it's a bunch of bull. Next topic. Marco the Beast. That's my new character, Marco the Beast. DHS has decided that they're going to delay the Real ID until 2025 now, and that's the Real ID system that they want everybody to get, that they pushed for so hard. And obviously, they're not ready for it yet. So now it's 2025, so we don't have to worry about not being able to go into a federal building or flying for now. But they were pushing that hard on the news. And I call it Marco the Beast. And every country's coming out with their own digital facial biometrics ID systems. India's got one. You'd be surprised at the people behind. That was an ant crawling on my screen. Sorry, buddy, I didn't invite you to my show. I'm running a little early, so we'll slow down a little bit here. So we covered Neuralink. Isn't that just wild? I don't think people are going to want to have their heads drilled in. I really don't. And when you have proprietary hardware and software and technology, you can't go elsewhere. You'd have to go to his competition or something, and you have to pay all over again. What if you have defects? Who do you go to? The FDA? They're approving it. That's crazy. And like they're saying in the chat room, Dr. Giordano, would you trust him or not? I probably... Oh, your V2K is playing Beastie Boys. That's crazy. Absolutely wild. Let's check and see who's in the... We got Whitey in the chat room. Sean's in the chat room. Yeah. We're a good crowd. I can never say that Tony's last name. Yeah, you can't stop us now. You got people power, and people power is what's going to win. And my name is GJ Chris, and we're here in the call to try to expose this technology and get the word out. I put this video on YouTube, which is getting a lot of activity. I've been putting every video on BitChute, which gets a lot of activity, and I'm putting it in archive.org. So if you want to reference this or send it to your friends, you can make a copy, a torrent, or the MP4. It's right there for you to download. You can edit it. You can put my video on, redo it, whatever you want. But I'm there, and this is my way of of exposing this evil technology that gets you put in a mental hospital if you complain about it. That's like Kafka. That's totally Kafka. Amazing how you can't even have a discussion with many people about fourth industrial revolution technologies that they can hack your brain while it's going on in the front of your face with Neuralink and such. Okay, TI Book Club's coming up now. Is everybody here for TI Book Club? Oh, my neck popped. Well, I don't see everybody here, but I'll wait. So anyway, if you're watching me through the video, I'm sure you've got your holiday plans. Sure, the internet's not working too well right now because of the constant shopping that goes on when this time of the year happens. So it's not your devices that aren't working, it's speed and performance of the internet, and that was something people have always asked me for years during this time of year. Why is my performance of my computer so slow? And I've had people buy computers during the Christmas season because they can't get on the computer to shop. That's Kafka too. So anyway, our TI Book Club is on Twitter, and you can join TI Book Club at bookclubs.com/TI Book Club/join/ that's a TI Book Club, which is pound TI Book or hashtag TI Book Club on Twitter. And you can see what current books we're having. Right now we're reading the Julian Assange book by Nils Meltzer. I made it through page 200, and I have the notes here from the book. A moment. There you go. There's the notes. I hope you're doing well. This is a conversational type of call. We're not screaming and yelling and, always, in a hurry to solve everything one day. It's incremental. You have to build your case incrementally, and, you want to do a lawsuit? These lawsuits have been going on for a long time and nothing happens. Not to be disrespectful, but do your own lawsuit. It's called people power. The power of the people that know the truth when you tell them is more powerful than any court. Once the word gets out, you just need a small percentage of word of mouth, like 5% of the public. And once that gets out, it's table talk, table conversation at dinner, and it's going to spread like wildfire. So don't you worry. You just keep spreading the word. I'll keep doing the videos. I'll keep showing up on Sunday. So the case of A in the trial of Julian Assange, case of A was A is the first girl that claimed rape, and she claims he pulled the condom off, and she was afraid and wanted to get an HIV test. I guess Julian is a little hypersexual, or he's being made hypersexual, or people want to have sex with him. But I must have read 40 pages about HIV tests and the bullshit with this between subject case A and the other case S with a no condom story. So I watched that, and the amount of scare that they had with the HIV was unbelievable, especially when in the United States and available globally, you have now a product called OraQuick, and that's www.oraquick.com, which has global access on their website, and you can get instant HIV tests now. But they didn't put that in the book. It just made it seem like if you read it, it would take months to get a test. And the police are the ones that exaggerated the whole thing and put the warrants out. There was no rape. The police in Sweden got a warrant with no interviews based on a phone call from another agent with no inspection or interview in person. So that's what that book's about. And basically, it's about the injustices and about how the UN ignores it all, but it just goes on about Julian. And then the Cablegate came out, and U.S. and Britain are involved with Sweden, and they're interchanging ideas and suggestions. And Britain wants him hard. And then, of course, it gets to the part of the book where he ends up in, I forgot, Ecuador. He stays there for about 5 or 6 years, and they change the whole staff, and they all become nasty, and the president of Ecuador changes, and all of a sudden he starts getting sick from the stress because they're harassing him, gang stalking and doing stuff at the Ecuadorian embassy. And before, they were all getting along very well. So I made it to chapter 8, and Assange helped Snowden to get himself set up in Moscow after the Snowden thing pops. So that was pretty much so far with the book. The trial of Julian Assange, which is got some parallels to our targeting, especially the way the government acts when they do war crimes. They make us the suspect when we expose them. You have to expose the current war crime of this telepathy and dream manipulation, this gang stalking. It has to be exposed, like Julian Assange exposed the war crimes in Iraq and other places. It has to be exposed. And that's what this is about. Next book, I read the whole thing, and I wish I hadn't, but that's just my opinion. I think I want to rub my eyes out. It's called 21st Century Slave by Ron Allen, and it's got the picture of the kid in the front with the CIA agent in back, and he's got a hat on. And it's about vintage transhumanism. And the book's in the book club. I read the whole thing, and he talks a lot about his electronic leash, which we all have. I call it my jail in a box, the floating box. That's what he talks about. He mentions PNAC, which I've mentioned before, Policy for a New American Century, who said they needed a new Pearl Harbor to pass a realignment of the Middle East. And, of course, magically 9/11 happened, and Wolfowitz and a lot of people that you know in the war machine or war hawks are part of the PNAC doctrine. You can find the PNAC doctrine in the Wayback Machine, by the way, on archive.org, and you'll see all their plans. He mentions that he was getting the circular motions in the back of his scalp, like I did for a while. So like children were running around my head in a circle, like Maypo, running around the maypole. And he also calls it CIA parlor tricks, which I call it. And caller 00. Hello, Nancy. Hello. Caller 00, are you there? He mentions Bill Tompkins from MUFON in his book, and he was involved with MUFON for a while. Remember you said that was probably why you think you got targeted? Well, there you go. And, of course, he had the cold mother syndrome that I suffered from, so I felt related to that book. And, of course, again, this is 21st Century Slave, a Transhuman Vintage Tale by Ron Allen. It's on Amazon right now, and it's in our book club. This is so screwed up on so many levels. I got to look at you with my crooked eye right at the screen. These MOFers, I was reading the book. It said in the book that the dew stopped his heart. And right when I read the part where the dew stopped his heart, I got this sharp pain in my heart at the same time. And I hadn't eaten anything that would cause heartburn, and I didn't take any medication or have any reason for that. It came out of nowhere, and it was horrible. So they're playing that CIA parlor trick on me. I didn't die, but I wrote it down because it was shocking that they would do that to me while I'm reading the damn book. I mean, do you really think that's going to stop me? Your parlor tricks aren't going to stop me. You do this all the time. You think you're going to win, and you're not going to win. People power wins. People power wins. He has a lost car dream. Mac G gets a lost car dream. Mac G's in the house here. I get the lost car dreams. The guy in the book gets the lost car dreams. What's up with that? That's because we're dependent on our automobiles, and that's a very big shock to the system to not have transportation. So that's why they do it, because it's basically trauma-based dream control instead of mind control. Oh, we're at 6:30. We're talking about the book club. Anybody want to kick in? I don't see anybody on the screen, so we're good to go. The problem with this book was it was hard to tell the difference between what was a dream and what was reality in his world. It was very hard to differentiate the two, but it's a good book. But he talks about, I have to be crude, he talks about his erection a lot. Apparently they like to give him erections, and he talks about it. I had to hear about this guy's erection on every third page. I heard enough about your erections, Ron Allen, but I read your book, and it was good, and we gave you a 9. So if you want to get the book, go out and get it. If you don't mind the sexual stuff in it, which it's sex and death and Law and Order, like it is in my head. They're asking me today if I, did the nasties. Okay, we're going to relax and chill out. And I see we got the TI Book Club meeting going. We'll see what else we cover on that. I think that was it. We're going to go to... oh, I see how I hit lecture mode. We're going to take us off of Q&A mode now, and I'm switching to a heavy open mic, not a light one, because we have a lot of issues on show 37. So we're going to go to Q&A mode in case you have any news or anyone needs to speak. Come on in. Okay, well, if you want to talk, *6, and I'll weave in the topics. First one is NSO Group out of Israel is sued by Central America Media Group, and that was on Democracy Now! I posted that on my TI Club 3. Open mic, anyone want to talk? I'm going to take a little break for a moment. So yeah, NSO Group can hack into your phone, and it's 0-click. So you don't even have to click on the message on your phone, and they can listen to your mic and see through your camera and pretty much monitor everything on your phone activity that you do, what applications you use, what have you. And mostly on Apple products, and a lot of very wealthy to do and connected people have Apple products, and they're the easiest to hack according to them. Open mic. It is 6:34 p.m.
Hey, Chris. Good Sunday evening.
Hey, Laura. Good Sunday evening. How are you?
You hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. What's up?
Cool. I'm just saying what's up. I'm just checking in. You know, there's something interesting to me about this now about, now about them making you into addicts. And I've talked to several TIs that have this story, and I have this story over and over again where they trap you in a snowstorm and literally steal your distributor cap, and you end up with, 5 guys that you should be able to trust, and they have cocaine or they have something. And when this happens, and I've talked to a lot of TIs this happened to, and there's one on here tonight, I think, that survived it without becoming an addict. She's now like me, an old lady. She, like me, got through it smoking pot, but I'm fine smoking pot in a snowstorm. All her cars broke down. They do more than that. They put you in a situation, over and over and over again. Well, back in my day, that would just make you into a slave for a while. Now, it will kill you. There's fentanyl coming over the border. It's laced in everything. One night like that of just throwing caution to the wind because things are so bad or whatever, don't do it, because it'll be the last time. And I have a few friends that have gone out like that. So definitely they do target you when you're very vulnerable. And, here it snows a lot. That it seems to be a time when they target you, they break down your car, they siphon your gas, they put you in a situation where you're just stuck for a couple of days. And so be aware of that. That's a big deal.
I don't think I could handle the snow.
Anyway, don't use why I said don't do what, Laura? Don't use that mind-altering chemical that somebody, wants you to one night, because now it can kill you for one night, for one. And for two, you got to keep your wits about you in this situation.
Yeah, this isn't 1980. The cocaine isn't coming from Mario down the street. It's got fentanyl everywhere. Fentanyl's in everything, and you could drop dead.
Yeah. Anyway, there was a lot of situations that I've heard of before, just women being put in a situation over and over again. Their car was broke down, and this happened, and and beware. It's something that happens. So.
And that's why I have AAA.
I do have AAA. I do have
Good.
AAA. They ask more times than I can count. They will come out for free. Yeah, they will. If you're locked out of your car or locked out of your house, or they will come out for free. They'll tow you for free twice a year. Totally worth it. Best money I've ever spent.
Yeah, because people are doing drugs a lot right now because of the stress of the COVID and job loss and inflation and everything. And so all the stress and people talking about end times and this and that, and it's breaking people down, and they're doing drugs.
Exactly. And, it's one thing to smoke a joint and do everything in moderation especially if you're drinking. One night of drinking could be disastrous, if you're not safe. So
I'm not good. I'm not a good drinker. No, I get sloppy.
Yeah. Well, I think one good beer is a rite of passage for every TI, but yeah, that's something. Got to make your own choices on that. But that's a big one. That's a big one on how they get you. So beware.
I never thought of that. That's very interesting. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, so you got to be prepared and have somebody you trust on speed dial.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, did you like my cat? My cat photo. That wasn't just something I got. That was something I was walking downtown Boulder and I seen that, I took a picture of it. Somebody actually drew it on the wall.
Really? That's pretty. I saw it with the bricks in the background. That's pretty damn cool.
Okay, so me and my friends were walking down and talking about something pretty serious. All of a sudden, we saw that little cat picture, and I said, "Oh, this is adorable. I got to take it for Chris. I got to take this picture for him." So.
I have three. I have 3 cats on my sofa right now. I've got Poppy, Pika, and Sammy. Where's Sammy? Sammy's shy, but they're all sisters.
Cool. Well, I thought that cat picture would make you smile, and I'm not one to send cat pictures, but I did.
I love cat pictures. Would love them, and our 2 kittens got foster home care, and they're going to get adopted, so we're all good over here, and these cats are available too. Pika's not, though.
Right on. And I worked today, and all good's over here, so I'll let somebody else talk.
And if nobody talks, you come back, please. Anybody want to chime in, please? It's open mic. It's 20 to 7. Oh, so you're getting the dreams too, Sheila. Oh, it's not awful, Sheila. Isn't that awful? Aren't they horrible? And the subject matters they come up with are truly not tasteful.
I can't stand them. It's awful. Every night I get a dream.
Me too.
I barely remember them. As soon as I wake up, there'll be something about the dream, and I get on my iPad real quick, or if my mother needs help, I just go right downstairs and help her. I just try to, totally block it out because it's all nonsense.
Yeah, it is. In the book I just read, that Vintage Transhumanism by Ron Allen describes his dreams in detail, and he gets them too. Pretty common. And Mac G over here gets the dreams only, doesn't get the V2K.
Yeah, I don't think I really get the V2K anymore. I did in the beginning.
So you're just getting the dreams. Yeah, that means when your astral body is floating, I guess, from your body when you're in deep REM is when they get you, is what I've heard. And also when you're in twilight mode, they get you.
Yeah.
At least that's what the book claims. He claims it's your astral physical body leaving your body, and they're able to tap into that. How they make the movies, I don't know. That's kind of weird. But they had me at my aunt's house last night, giving her a bunch of my mom's old stuff, like glassware and crystal glasses and things. It was really sad because my aunt just died, so they're trying to make me depressed.
I'm sorry, Chris.
And every night I'm on drugs coming home from partying, and I go stay at this hotel. I stay at the same house that's owned by these 2 dudes, and this place is a mess, and I rent a room there, like Airbnb, and I can't get home, and no one gives me a ride. And last night, I think I was in Chicago, I got lost, and people were telling me, don't go down that street, because that's where the dangerous people are, and yeah, and then I had these women trying to rape me, and so yeah, it was just a cavalcade of movies last night.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's like movie time. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's in the first person, and it's lucid. So it's actually a morality test, is what they're doing with me, is seeing how I react to scenarios. It's a morality test done while you're sleeping in REM mode. It's like, what would Chris do in the movie?
Right.
So I've been having a line of people, waiting to kick me in the head for months. And it's like a line of people. Some of them take off their jackets, and some of them bring their kids down off their shoulders. Some of their, it's like a whole group of people, all different kinds of people in line. You know what I mean? What is that? 'Cause all I do is cry. So it's not, and so it's not, I don't know that it's effective, you know what I mean? Anyway, somebody suggested, like, look up at them while they're kicking you. It seems scary to me. I don't know how to break that. Any suggestions? I'm open to any suggestions on that.
Well, they zapped me with the depression beam, so I'm not exactly Mr. Hostess for the most, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, what do you say? What do you say to that? There's a lot of good things going on.
Yeah, like I said, we keep spreading the word and doing these videos and doing this call and keep talking to each other. It's going to get done. People power.
I think actually something's happening with, I want to say my IT people, because I was telling TI the other day, I was like, well, how do you guys said that the IT people are working for us, and I've noticed that my bank never overcharges me anymore. I don't get overcharged everywhere. I haven't been they haven't taken money out constantly that I had to fight about. I've been able to send emails successfully to you, Chris, and several other people. I'm all excited about it. I know it sounds dumb. Those are very cool things. Those are things that I couldn't even do before.
Yeah, I've had luck with my IT issues too. For some reason, they don't bother me.
Well, you're probably more, educated in that area. A lot of us have a hard time even with the apps, even with, just figuring things out. And so, she says to me, what are IT people? I don't know, but I think they're the people that it helped me with my bank. It's like, I have no idea what the IT people are. However, I've noticed something different. I've noticed something different for me. So, there is stuff happening, I believe. Don't know where it's coming from. Don't know if it's the IT people. Don't know if it's legislation passed. Don't know if it's, petitions that have been passed around. Don't know if it's, there's a lot of things out there happening now. 20 years ago, you couldn't say that.
No, I agree. It's, you can talk openly about things now. People are woke.
Well, sort of.
Except my neighbors, because my next topic I was going to talk about my stalking. I had caught stalking 2 years ago. I had to put cameras up, and it was Patty, Ken, Dave, and Mindy. And I have pictures of them I'm going to share one day. So, yeah, I had the gang stalking happen a couple of years ago. All over nothing. And then they all got evicted. And I didn't even have to say anything, so the gang stalking stopping quit for me. I hope it stops for everybody. I hope this program stops. The V2K, the dreams are horrible. So you're getting them too, Laura, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. And then this huge headache. This huge headache. You wake up.
Is it gone yet?
Well, today it was until about 5 o'clock. It was gone until about 5 o'clock today. I got hit at work, and it's almost like a tranquilizer dart. Like, you feel it. You know it happened. And, you don't know where. I don't look up anymore because I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, there's nothing there. But, yeah. You know it. You feel it. You know you're going to be sore for a while. Your head, meaning. And plus my hair right there feels like just like crunchy. My roots like are crunchy right there. It's gross.
Wow.
Yeah. But I had no headache yesterday, and I had no headache all day today.
Well, hallelujah.
So that's a feat, man. That is a feat and a half, yeah, for me. So, hallelujah.
Well, I was talking about the gang stalking. I talked with Kathy Meadows about all that before, and we decided to tell everyone my partner was my brother. And that worked out, because I probably would have got killed, because it was pretty violent here a couple of years ago when I had the big crowd coming up against me. They were telling everybody, and it was pretty scary. We had to put cameras up and take pictures, so I hope that ends. Ray Ecups, at Roy EACUPS on Twitter, says after 27 years of V2K, he says it stopped, but he's still getting the head pressure and other intrusions. So he got relief. That's Roy Ecups, who has the Sunday Zoom call. So there's hope. We need hope. We need all the hope you can get to get you through the day. And what's worse, the nights. Get you through the night. The night's the worst. Isn't it, Laura?
Yeah. Well, fun. Fun is also what gets me through the day. And
yeah.
I have to have a little fun. It doesn't matter what it is, that you can set aside 10 minutes for it. Have a little fun throughout the day if you can. People say, what? What are you talking about? Well, after 40 years of this, and you're pretty much, I welcome death. You can have fun. There can, 5 minutes out of the day, and plus, do you want to go out like that? Do you want to go out like, I don't know, just completely miserable? So, yeah, have a little fun every day. I recommend it. You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh.
I agree. I do my DJ mixes. I sent you the funk mix. Did you like it?
I loved it, and I jammed, and he sent it to me. See, he sent me little jams during the week, and, when you really need to pick me up, play it. Now, it's not my style, but it gets you up and groove. You get up and groove. You can't help but get up and groove.
I play the mixes, and I forget about what I was worrying about. It entrains me. So, yeah, it's my fun. Well, I'm glad it has a value to you for that.
No, totally. That was my 10 minutes of fun that day. So thank you. That was fun. I appreciate that. So if you can find that, if you can find people to reach out to, another thing, since no one's talking, I've always wanted to mention is the campsite rule. And I know people know what the campsite rule is. It's like when you go to a campsite, you don't leave it, you leave it the way you found it. So we're also heavily, I'll just say tortured. I know that we're excited to meet each other, but we send each other a lot of information, and sometimes it's just too much. And I have to remember myself to step back, just bring light to this person's life maybe, and just ask them how they are and make sure that they're doing okay. And maybe you leave the call or the, person in better shape than when you reached out to them in the first place. Does that make sense? Was it a bad?
Makes sense.
Okay. Oh, I don't just say that.
So next week we'll be talking about Stargate, which my voice has told me not to talk about Stargate. So I'm going to talk about Stargate, about CIA psychics. That's show number 38 on 12/18. So I'm already writing that one up. If you have any suggestions for the next show and you're watching this video now, send them to djchris@targetedwest.com and I will include them. It's open mic. Anyone new or anyone older, anyone want to talk? Chime in. Come on in. Just Laura and I talking.
Is that such a Christmas tree? Or is he just showing us some?
I think the Christmas party starts. Oh yeah, by the way, the TI Christmas party is Sunday the 25th on this call. It starts at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sheila, that's 2 p.m. PST. That's 5 p.m. your time. So it'll be 2 p.m. my time to 8 p.m.
Okay, great, Chris. Thanks.
No worries. I'm gonna need friends to help me because I'm not gonna make it that long. I'm gonna run out of talking. So maybe you guys can chime in. I would really appreciate that. And one more time, if you're interested in a book about my story, here we go. The Targeted Trilogy book, which is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, hard copy, paperback, $6.99. So check it out. Thank you for letting me do the cheap plug. It is now 5 minutes until the recording goes off. Anybody want to close out the recording with anything? That's no problem. We'll go back to the first page. Earlier, we talked about Neuralink. That's shocking. And then I, of course, found an article about MILAB, MILAB, and I used pre-search to find the article because nobody had anything about it listed at all. So that was like a doozy to find. Amazing. I used presearch.com, and there's the advertisement for the Christmas party. It'll be December 25th here on Sunday. I hope to see you all here, and if you're outside of the call right now, tune in. You can go to my page and get the cell phone info and call in from your cell phone, and do *67 so you're not showing your phone number. Yeah, *67, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I use pre-search all the time, www.presearch.com. Yeah, it finds things that I can't find on Google or anywhere else. Or DuckDuckGo, because DuckDuckGo gone and went. So Google doesn't show a lot of stuff that's good that you want to research with. So they've got a lot of very, very evasive algorithms that limit your ability to research things that they don't want you to know about, especially if it involves a defense contractor. They really do a lot of censorship because there's a lot of money in it. And they don't want people talking about it. Okay, we're wrapping it up. It's already closeout time. It's 8:59, or 8:59, 6:59. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, thank you again. Spread the word, please. Share the video on email or what have you through social media. If you check me out on BitChute, I'll have that video up tonight. And then on archive.org for posterity. So you can download my video, email it, share it, edit it, whatever. Anyway, thank you again. My name is DJ Chris. I'm your host. Thank you for watching the video. And we'll see you again on the 18th for another show. Okay, so good night and thank you. And this recording is now going to end. See you next week.